So,
Did you say that?
Yes, you did.
did you really?
Yeah,
Well, she overtalked over
I
you,
did.
so
I overtalk over him all the time.
you should be able to see me in there, right? So red, orange, and yellow guy. So what we're looking for are those cold spots, which are going to be blue and black. So there's always going to be blue and black in there because we're going to try to keep a person in view at all times. So those blue and black areas, I want them to either move or to take shape. Like when I say take shape, I want a head, shoulders, moving arms and legs. Like that's what I'm looking for out of this guy, and that's what we've caught in the past. That's the super cool thing about this one. So the cool thing for you guys is when you guys get your video back, there's a blue dot that's bouncing around the screen. It's showing you the coldest spot in the frame at that moment to identify anything that might not be super, obviously a full figure. So I'm looking for 15 plus degree temperature drops with this. We are about 77 degrees out here ambient, which is super nice, by the way. Thank you for that. So I'm looking for 62 degrees and colder out of that blue dot when I'm watching your video and spot checking it. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the video at this point. You're going to do starts and stops just like you did last time. And again, of course, the same rules apply. I don't know where everybody's from, so if it's cold where you came from, this is definitely a bigger change. So let's get your mind off your own element, right? Now Allie's looking at me like, oh my God, what did you sign up for? He's like, yep, so you talked me into this mess. By the way, how old are you guys? You're throwing me off. Just so I can explain the devices a little bit further now that you're bigger in hands. This is where it keeps some of the horses for your carriage rides. So they can hear us, which is exactly why the two of you are wearing earbuds. They don't like the white noise the same way you don't like the white noise. Now, the history here is very simple. This is the same red barn that held horses that delivered milk and eggs to the residents of Charleston. Keywords here are going to be delivery, milk, eggs, anything relative to a stable. So, with that, what's that?
Purchase.
It's pretty vague. So, with that said, that's what the keywords would be if we were going to be diving into anybody that actually used to work at this particular barn. But let's ask what's a simple question that normally people would ask when they're sitting in front of a Ouija board. So, if you've never used one, think of your TV shows and movies.
Who's here?
Who's here? Let's go simpler than that.
Is there anybody?
Perfect. So, is anybody here? So, let's say we ask that question. Allie hears the answer no. That means somebody's here. Getting my point? They answered you, but they lied.
Right.
So we're going to be going after very detailed questions. For example, if somebody's here, tell me what color a big red barn is. They're obviously looking and listening for the color red.
Right.
However, these two are using song lyrics and DJs to be able to convey messages back to us. The word red might not be available. Firefly, blood, heart. Those three things are specifically red. I would take it as possibly being paranormal if something else was happening. Another example. Let's say Liz's word list has the word art on it. That doesn't mean anything by itself. Jolly Bean over here, here's the number 40. If you put art and number 40 together, Art Faircloth was number 40 on Big John's team. You guys see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
So a lot of puzzle piece collecting.
Okay. Yeah.
So I know what 90% of these puzzles look like.
Good.
When you guys find the other 10%, that's where I know you're kind of going with the verbal. Those go to YouTube, and you'll have a sideways video. If I do Andy's Coming, like from Toy Story, basically you're going to hold your camera just like you are right now, and Riedel already knows like he's going to hold it just like it's a normal cell phone. There's a reason why I use, obviously our normal type of screens instead of the crazy. Who the hell were these people? They had a son named Charles, they had a nephew named Charles. It's 3 different Chucks. That's why we look for secondary clues. I need to know, in case Jolie hears the name Charles, which Charles is actually coming through. That's why we look for those secondary clues. Secondly, the son and the nephew were signers of the Constitution for South Carolina. It's a big deal for us, but I hate politics and we're going to move on. So again, if I don't bring it up, they normally do it for me in a very ugly, nasty way. I will also tell you, with this being a Saturday night, that we will probably not spend more than 10 minutes at this location just because of the amount of cars that are in. And we'll see what we can get out of it. Just keep it. If people start walking by, just put your cameras down. It's pretty simple.
Wait, which last name started with the N?
Nobody's.
Oh.
No. Maiden name starts with a. Maiden name starts with a.
Okay.
That's why most people turn the volume down.
Right.
It's okay. It's okay. So just so you know, anything that's in front of something else, it's gonna put a stick-man figure on here. I got a little manufacturer in here. Yep. Stick on it. Things with leaves, trees, bushes, vines, they're never your friend. Always gonna have a change from another one. I have a sensitivity. It's not pretty well. Why not? Far off. Like the closer you get,
What's that?
You don't see any heat, you don't see any cold
No,
spots by me?
nothing at all.
Okay. I'm just getting a lot of words. I don't know if they mean anything, but it's pretty cool. Okay.
Yeah, you're just kind of the video pole. I don't always follow up with this one in real time, just because the camera's so damn small.
Tell
I'll
me
watch the
about
video later.
Tell me about it.
It is tiny. By
Hey.
the way, I forgot. Did I send you the audio?
You never did.
Okay. I was trying to remember this morning. I was like, oh snap.
You hold on to this for a minute. I should have wore. Okay, and then I just got action, effectiveness, aid, create, correctly vary, cognitive endeavor, beware, fit, G, I don't know. Rule, and create, and firm. And it was funny, firm came up when I grabbed onto him with my shoe off and that's what happened. I never put it in. I couldn't remember as I was walking over, and I didn't want to say anything.
The funny thing is we did get one of the numbers from the date, from the date of the fire.
Oh, we did?
We did. So they don't know it yet.
Oh, cool,
But
really?
they've heard it. They just don't know it.
Oh, wow.
I haven't told them because I haven't revealed it.
Right, right. Okay, cool.
So.
But I was looking at it. But I didn't say nothing. Nope, nothing.
Oh yeah. I asked the day, like what day did they get married, and they said 5/10. Apparently that's her birthday.
5'10".
Really?
So.
Oh, she heard 5'7".
Yeah.
And I thought that may have been Eliza's death date, but the death date was May 26th, not the 7th. So you heard 5'10".
Yes.
Really?
And then I asked.
And then he made me
And then I
leave,
asked her what the numbers first were. I said I got 5/10. I said, oh, that's my birthday.
You heard that? Really? That's cool. All right, good.
Again, things will relate to you guys.
Wow.
No matter if you rather.
Wow. Yay.
Well, she died in May, but she also got married. And now I You guys ready to wrap this one up? I heard we got a handle and kind of keep it at your side, and we can still get footage in case anybody wants to pop up in there. Same thing with Reed, he's already going. Have you heard anything along the way here? What about you? Nothing? That was the only thing you heard? And when did you hear that 70,000? So we were still somewhat in the Pinky Mansion site. Do you remember how old Eliza was when she passed away?
70,000 years old.
The point I'm trying to make is your spirit box is slowed down. It's going to pick up words before and after the actual message. What color is a big red barn? Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. I don't need Rudolph the nosed reindeer. You just gave me 70,000. I don't need the 1,000. I still wrote it down, but I'm still going to point out that she died at the age of 70. So a lot of things wrapped around her death, but that May and that 5 kept coming up between the two of you. Very interesting.
No, it's like.
So, were you both listening along the way, or just you? Come on, man. He's like, sorry, boys. So, Philadelphia Alley. This is exactly where you are now. Obviously, a lot of tours are going to be cutting through us. What happens with that is they will come out of that ivy wall. We split the seas, let them pass through. I'll normally stop talking because I tell a little bit of a different history here than they do. Same story, though. This is the place I'm actually taking out this year, so this is going to be the last time not the last time, but the last year I'll be doing this particular tour. Because every year I take a location out and I add a new one in. So I've contacted a few psychics today to try to work on the next location for next year, so this will be the one I take out this year because everybody does it. Anyway, this used to be called Dueler's Alley. This is where some of the duels used to occur for the city of Charleston. So everybody tells that same story, but again, more details coming from me, so you might want to listen up on this one. Go ahead and turn it down. Give your ears a break.
No, it's not my ears. It's all the way down.
Oh.
It's just as soon as we got here, right here in the back of my head started to hurt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
You need to
now?
sit down. There's a
You
stoop right there.
Oh,
Okay.
It's just when we were walking, that wasn't happening. It's just what.
Just when we got here.
Yeah.
A doctor moves down here from Rhode Island. His name is Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd. So if anybody listening to their spirit boxes, here's the song Brown Eyed Girl. It's not coincidence. We get it all the time. It's part of his name. Anyway, Dr. Ladd moves down here because he's supposed to get married to his fiancée, Amanda. Amanda just inherited a bunch of money from her dead parents. So she has an attorney helping her out with all this cash flow. The attorney thinks that Dr. Ladd is just after Amanda's money. So he tells Amanda to get rid of the doctor. Dr. Ladd comes to Charleston to prove that he's not. On his way into town, his coachman set him up to be robbed and killed, but somebody was watching and knew that he was about to be killed, so he went over to go help him out. That gentleman's name was Ralph Isaacs, and that's where I stopped because we get the letters R.I. all the time because it has the same initials of Ralph Isaacs and Rhode Island where the doctor came from. We were getting the letters R.I. all the time on the two spirit boxes, so I bought a Ouija board device that works electronically, and I wanted to see how many times we would actually get the letters R.I., and it normally pops up whenever I bring up Ralph's name. So I've had it for about 6 months. It's happened about the same number of times.
Wow.
So about 6 times we've gotten R.I., and those two letters are not near each other in the alphabet. So we're not using that device tonight. That's actually the one that your other grandkid broke that I had to fix.
Okay.
Lexi broke something?
Yeah, she did.
It's a red button. But you said you
Come on,
fixed it
Lexi.
with
Yeah,
a green
I fixed
button.
it.
Okay, you put a
It's
green
green.
button.
I wanted it to be
Green
green
button.
anyway.
Okay, there you go.
It was a red button. I like green. We're going to go with green. Anyway, back to Ralph.
Okay.
Ralph tells the doctor, dude, you don't want to stay here. I know this guy. He's going to try to kill you. He said, come with me
That's
to
so
59
cold.
Church Street. You can stay with some friends of mine. They'll rent you a room. You'll be safe and good to go. The doctor took him up on the offer, and they became friends. The longer the doctor stays here, the more money he's making. Proving his point, he's not after Amanda's cash. Amanda got wind of this, and she's moving down, so that way they can be married. Dr. Ladd became known as the Whistling Doctor. I'm going to stop there again because every haunted city you're ever going to go to is going to have a cliched whistling ghost. I'm just going to point that out.
Okay.
We all have one. Ours just happens to be a doctor. So it's very cliche. Anyway, back to Dr. Ladd and Ralph. They actually go see plays together, but they can't sit next to each other because the doctor makes more money. That's the hierarchy of Charleston. He gets better seats. So one night they go see Richard III, and then Ralph is now insulting the doctor's fiance back home in Rhode Island. They go their separate ways because it got really ugly. But Ralph has friends around town. He goes to see his friends at the newspaper and places an ad in the paper telling the whole city of Charleston he's the doctor. Kind of a you're a disgrace to society kind of stuff. The doctor saw the ad, but rebutted with, let's go to Julian's Alley. We're going to settle this and somebody's going to die. They came down, they took their 10 paces away from each other. They turned and the doctor points his gun in the air and shoots. He did not want to kill his friend. He wanted to have the courage and bravery to show up to the fight. But Ralph has his one bullet, puts it in the kneecap on the doctor. The Dr. Ladd doesn't die either. That's where I said if you guys hear the song Hands on My Knees, that's not heard here too.
Cool.
So, but anyway, so Dr. Ladd falls on the ground. His friends picked him up, took him home to 59 Church Street, where he dies 10 days later on November 2nd of 1786 after refusing medical treatment. He refused that medical treatment because it was 1786. Gunshot wounds were a lot different back then. He probably just thought it was like a lead poisoning kind of thing.
Right.
So he probably just bleeded out himself. He just failed because he died. Anyway, so every tour that comes down here will tell you to listen for the whistles as you're walking through the alley. It's always this quiet, right? It's, even on a busy Saturday afternoon, it is usually this quiet. I'm going to tell you if you're going to walk all the way through here and try it with your voice recorder from your phones on your own time, because I can't take you all the way through here. I've been kicked out. I'll tell you why in just a minute. But if you try, just remember that every local knows the story, and now you do too. Anybody walking up and down Cumberland or Queen Street is going to throw a whistle down the alley. We all do, just so you know. So it's a lot of false positives in the background. Luckily for us, you don't have to listen to it while you're here, like in real time. We have 2 cameras running, hopefully yours is still running, plus my voice recorder. So if it's going to be in there, it'll show up on one of those 3 things. But we've also gotten the word whistle or actual whistles coming through radio stations on your spirit boxes, along with the word doctor almost immediately afterwards. So those are not coincidental things to me. We get them all the time. So just kind of keep that in mind. Yes.
What was your name?
Amanda.
I got my connection. Annie, are you okay?
Well, that's for the next location.
Really?
It is.
Wow.
And she just proved my point. So I'll kind of get to that in just a minute.
Cool.
Here's how I got kicked out of here. Here's the fun part of the story. You guys ready for this? Oh, Liz and Rita already did it. So, you can't take tours all the way through the end of this. But when I first started doing this, I didn't know all the boundaries. So I used to take my groups all the way through. Simply, well, let me point out first that the alley didn't always come all the way through this way. There was a wall halfway between us and Cumberland Street. The reason why is because this is where they kept all the livestock for the city of Charleston. So cows and chickens were all down under here. Now, it used to be called Cow Alley back then. So what does that mean for you guys? Down at the end, those bricks are older than the ones we're standing on. Those bricks were actually sun-dried by slave children. There's a full handprint from a slave child down at the end and fingerprint swipes on others. And I used to point them out simply because we all need to see how far we've come from slavery. Had nothing to do with the paranormal whatsoever. November 26th of 2020. I took my group all the way through. They're all huddled around that brick, waiting for something to happen. I treat that brick the same way I do a grave. I've already told you I don't take you to cemeteries. That's the last place you're going to find that kid who turned that brick. His handprint. He's not there. He's at home with his mama somewhere. Now, I'm also trying to shoot this group along because it's outside the kitchen window of the beautiful mansion at the end of the alley. I'm just trying to be respectful. I didn't know I was out of bounds. The new owner came out and was screaming at me. My daughter thought it was great because her dad's getting yelled at. She was on the tour that night. And we moved on. The next day was Thanksgiving. I don't tour Thanksgiving because I worked in upper management for Walmart for a good part of 20 years. I don't do Thanksgiving anymore. The next day, November 28th, I called my partner that I had and I told him what happened. He too laughed at me just like my daughter did, and he said, you can only go down halfway or reroute your group. What I told my group that night, because remember it's Black Friday,
Right.
I have a full group again. We're going to reroute, but I don't believe in the next story because I've never had anything happen there with any of my equipment. We're going to talk about, pirates, but I'm a vampire guy. Just know that up front. And they were fine with that. They just kind of chuckled and we started to go. But before we left, somebody heard the name Anne on a spirit box. I did not tell them who we are going to be investigating. The famous female pirate Anne Bonny. So, she's already heard the Annie, Are You Okay song.
Okay.
I already told you about
Cool,
Bleed Over.
that's cool.
It's already starting to come through.
Okay,
So,
good.
the funny thing is we go up and around the corner, and I told them what little bit I did know about pirates at the time, which wasn't much because I only had a quick day to research. And somebody else heard the number 300 coming out of their spirit box. I didn't know what it meant. I write it down. I research it the next day, just like I'm going to research your guys' 5.7s and 5.10s. But I found out we were there November 28th of 2020. Anne Bonny's trial for piracy, November 28th of 1720. We were there on the exact 300th anniversary of her pirate trial.
That's cool.
So
That's cool.
I get normally that reaction of like, that's pretty cool shit,
It is
but I was
cool,
pissed.
Yeah.
Let me tell you why. I have a master's degree in creative writing. Even when I'm writing my fiction, I still like facts and actual data to be able to make the story come alive. Especially with this, I need facts and data. Pirate stories come from pirate lore, which was written 100 years after these events allegedly occurred. I've read more books on pirates than I've ever wanted to in my entire life. So just trying to piece this together to make sure what we're about to discuss is legit. Everything we're about to talk about at the next location came from a minimum 2 resources, just so you have that idea. Also keep in mind we're going to get the bleed over from here, so just let things happen. You're going to hear things, and I'm like, oh, that's part of the Dr. Ladd story, that kind of thing. the gate behind me before we leave the space. It's not too warm down here. Over the summertime, like this is like boiling hot down here. So I usually like breeze through this one so we can move on. But the gate, remember I told you that the alley didn't go all the way through?
Right.
So in the event there was a loser to the duel, this was the shortcut to get to the cemetery on the other side of this wall. So otherwise, they'd have to walk all the way down to Queen Street, which you guys can see how long the alley is, and then double back with a dead body.
Wow.
So I call this the death gate, but keep in mind that the wrought iron probably wasn't put there until the early 1900s. So, but the gateway, you can see the arch is actually part of the original wall.
Cool.
So I do like to point that out just because not a whole lot of people know why that's actually there.
Terrific.
It's a very
That's
interesting, weird piece of history. Allie, have you heard anything since we've been standing here? Or you've been focused on me? Focused on me. It's okay. That's why everything's recording. And you have the one that's not recording.
I got something.
Sorry, we have a Sullivan's Island here, so I didn't know if that was something. Start getting into the religious terms of close when you get to our class. Happens pretty much on a monthly basis. So the Lord has come, Solomon, what was it? Simple. Did you hear the same thing?
Yeah, I heard the last part, but I don't have
I think I try the other ear.
Maybe.
Did you get anything else while we were chit-chatting?
I don't know.
Give me the last 4 terms that were on your list.
Okay, there are actually a whole bunch of them, so hold on. I got I got cognitive, affair,
Okay.
dance, knee, and the last one was fight.
You got knee. Where was the doctor shot?
Knee.
In the knee.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
So the word shot is probably hidden. We won't know because yours isn't recording, but hopefully it's hidden within hers. Because that's usually what happens. We'll normally get the word shot.
I heard like guns, something after she said her word.
No, I'll take guns.
Cool.
Guns and knee. I'll take it. I know it seems like a vague reference, but I mean, where else?
Shouldn't it be Guns N' Roses?
Well, the funny thing is the word rose is relevant to that place too.
That's true, yeah.
So because he lived in the Thomas Rose house.
Oh, cool.
So that's 59 Church Street. So sometimes the word does show up of Rose. So that way we get both. So
I
if
would've
the
never
Guns N'
thought about-
Roses,
yeah.
somebody announces a Guns N' Roses song from a DJ, they're both relevant. That's kind of how I look at that. It's
I would
interesting fact,
have
right?
never thought about that, yeah.
Get it all the time.
I'll click something.
I see that. I was gonna hook you up. Purple, green screen. If you do that again, just swipe it. It's an iPad. You generally got it.
I have no idea how to work this.
Camera. Do you have an iPad? Do you have a tablet? Do you have a touch screen? Anything?
Yes.
Okay. Swipe left. Got it. Alright, so welcome to the powder magazine. So every tour is probably cut through here as well. Again, hopefully most of these cars are going to be going away here shortly. All kinds of things over there. Wow. What was Taylor saying?
Liz? I think that's where we parked.
It's like,
Okay.
"Ooh, summer." That part of the song.
Got it. Alright, so. Wow, that guy's noisy. Sorry, I don't like a whole lot of people jumping around us. We're going to be looking at the tiny building over there with crosses on it, but those are not crosses. Those are earthquake bolts. So if you're not from here and you don't know what they are, earthquake bolts are basically turnbuckles. So if we have another earthquake like what I mentioned earlier, we can tighten those turnbuckles and it tightens the building up so that way it doesn't incur any further damage. It's a great idea, it just doesn't work. The only reason I bring them up is because that's the first set of earthquake bolts that Charleston ever put in. The reason why is because that's the oldest government building in South Carolina. So it was finished in 1713. We're here simply because that building was being made at the same time that Anne Bonny came here to start our new life. That's what I call it familiar. So you guys watch the TV shows and the YouTubers, right? So they use a Blue Buddy, right? The teddy bear with a little blinky like that. Yeah, they do that to attract a child ghost because the child would look at that as something they recognize as a toy. We're at the same principle here. There's not many buildings this old in Charleston. So this is just something Anne would recognize. The hope here is that she's going to be here in the same 10 to 15 minutes that we will be. So let's kind of get into it. The building took 10 years to build. Does that sound like a government small building, 10 years? But anyway, I know, there's that yawn again. Sorry, this one's going to be long, just so you know. I'll breeze through it as quickly as I can so we can get to work. I know, but when there's this teenage group involved, I always have to breeze through some of it.
That's all right. She can deal with it.
1703 to 1713 is the construction of this building. 1708 is where the history begins with Anne. So, back in Ireland, a young lady was moving here from Ireland in 1708. So So it's right in the middle of its construction. She's coming here with her father, and she's coming here with her father's mistress. The mistress is Anne's mother. Is everybody with me so far? The three of them are running away from her father's angry wife. She kicked them out of the country. So anyway, they landed in Georgetown. That's between us and Myrtle Beach. Dad's on a plantation. Mom dies pretty quick. That means sending young Anne down here to come and run that plantation and help keep things afloat. So Anne's sticking with the building. But let's go back to Ireland for just a second. They say Anne was a badass even back then. She was a little kid at the age of 7, 8, 9 years old. Remember, it's pirate lore. Nothing is exact. They say she killed a servant with a knife to the belly. So we don't know how true that is. I can't tell you how many times we've had servant, knife, and belly all show up in the same evening, and two people don't know what the other two people are doing, if you're getting my point. Now, with that, let's fast forward. The building's done in 13. By 1715, pirates are starting to come through Charlestown. Anne is stoked. She's going to fall in love, so she can earn her freedom, just like a man. First guy she falls in love with, and I said first because there's a handful, and that's what makes the story so damn interesting. We're going to cover them all. First guy is James Bond. You already see where this one's going, right? We've already mentioned her pirate name. So, Anne Cormac is running away to Jamaica because her father doesn't approve, and she marries James Bonny, therefore becoming Anne Bonny. That's where her pirate name came from. Now, when you get down there, she realizes that James Bonny, her new husband, is not Captain Jack Sparrow. That's what she was hoping for. This guy turns out to be a privateer. It means he's a spy and a coward. So he's a spy for the British. This isn't who
If there's someone here, can you stand out in front?
I don't remember. There's so much information shared. I don't remember the last one. What was the name of the township? What is the name of the pirate ship?
how's our word list coming?
Well, I got a couple of things. I was asking. I don't remember any of the names from the last ghost hunt because there was so much information. But I did get the name Liam. Okay, so that doesn't make anything. I got reaction, old-fashioned, over, scent, arena, raw, and future. Since I walked over here, in wooden.
What kind of scent?
CENT. Okay, and of course the word wooden came up. Wooden.
How long ago was that?
Right as we got here. Yeah, well, as soon as we got here, I got the word hurry, moon, and tide. And then wooden came up. So
Could be those turnbuckles.
Now those are definitely metal.
Those are metal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no. So,
The only thing I can think of with the word wooden is that Woods Rogers was the one who captured Anne Bonny and Calico Jack. It's kind of a big stretch. Like I would need the word
but
Rogers.
Liam doesn't mean
But you also have the name Brady, so I look at that as like Liam Brady. So
Yeah.
now I'm going to be diving into who the hell is Liam Brady
Okay.
and seeing if there's a match somewhere.
Okay, cool.
I'll shoot
Has
my
ever
pants
come
off.
up? This ever come up before?
Not specifically.
Okay.
Not like that. I have seen
Okay.
the name Liam, but not. It doesn't show up often.
Okay.
It's not a common term.
Remember, I did get the word affair earlier, and then when you told me that Anne Bonny's mother was with the father who's the mistress,
Right.
and they were now go, whoa.
Yep.
So that's
But
kind
now
of
I need the mother's name.
yeah. I didn't get. We don't know the mother's name, right? I've been
I do.
asking. I haven't gotten. Yeah, I know. I don't remember what it was. So I've been asking to see what the mother's name was.
So I had
So that's weird. I got
I had somebody like you guys that took this tour like pretty close,
Uh-huh.
like in proximity.
Uh-huh.
They took it 3 times.
Really?
3 times within, I think it was like a 7-month period.
Okay.
So, and what's funny is even by the 3rd time, because I did change enough for him,
Right.
the 3rd time I was already some extra.
Yeah. That's cool.
You guys have anything yet? That's cool.
Really?
It's a party now.
That's so cool. That's when it was that like a song or
Probably some political
that is
like
so
newscast.
crazy. That's when the cocaine
Ripping on
that is
some
so
political
awesome. I
figure.
love it. Alright, that is so cool. Okay. I don't want to tell you every word, but I'm just getting some really random like flying missile. And I'm like, okay, I don't know.
You two chatting about, what did you hear? Jane. Sounds like a lot of names.
I know. I'm telling you. So when you do this every night, do you ever get bored with that?
No, because it changes every day.
Yeah. You get so much new information. It's weird. It's crazy.
No, I think the name Mary Jane. I don't know what that's from, but it reminds me of
We already had the cocaine. Right? I think
Yeah.
Mary Jane is supposed to be creating after cocaine, right?
I was going to say that, but I didn't.
What's that?
I was going to say that, but I didn't.
Hold this for a minute. I got something in my shoe again. I should have wore closed. I forgot about not wearing closed-toed.
They would be blindfolded the lady and then the picture later on. One night, I'm not gonna lie, that's my sister. Like, oh my god. Alright, cool. I'm gonna give you guys the equipment. So somebody's going to be helping you put these on, because you're going to have to put them on once you're blindfolded. So it will not be me. So you're blindfolded, and we'll also help you with that when I come back. So hang on to that as well. We'll be gone for like 5 minutes, and then I'll come back and give you guys a few tips and tricks on what to expect out of it. Have you ever used AI before? Yeah. Okay. So you kind of already have a gist of like what it's going to be looking like. Some people are super surprised by like, how it actually generates. Because you know it takes a few seconds for it to generate.
That's a weird one.
The words I've been getting have been crazy. I've got tons. I've got tons of words. Let's see. Let me see. Like, I got here. Look at this.
Suicide and
I got. Look at this. Okay.
tireless man.
Poison, busy Marxian, presidential order, 13 legislative.
Come on, you three. Let's do this.
Just crazy. I have 113 words already.
Yeah.
It's going to be cool.
She gets it. She thinks I put her in an awkward situation where she could have told you all about Sandy Cole. All these crazy ghost hunter kids.
Yeah.
Well, I'm getting deja vu
YouTube
right
ghost
now.
hunters.
I'm getting deja vu.
You are about really?
I feel like this is happening.
Really? You feel like you've done this before?
So here's what you need to expect out of yours. As I set up your device, it may produce an image already as I'm in the process of getting it set up for the VR. Have you used a VR helmet before?
Yes.
Okay. So you know the dial at the top is for focus. So this guy right here. And then if you need to move it in and out, there's thumbs like at the bottom. So you'll focus it for yourself. But for yours, Jolie, I want you to literally answer anything that you hear, even yes, no answers. You don't know what I'm asking. I might ask if I'm wearing a black vest. I'm expecting a yes answer. So again, you're going to have your volume set to a comfortable level. So Grandma's probably going to put the ear muffs over your ears, so that way you can not hear us, and you're also not going to be touching
Hold
the
it for me.
earphones.
So
I
I
want to
can
make
do
sure you're
that.
not messing with the volume and hearing the questions that I'm asking.
Now, does she keep this on?
Yeah, so I'll get everything set up because I want to get BOAZ set up first. Because this one can be a little temperamental.
Oh, wait, this is ready, and I'll help put this on.
So we're gonna do your blindfold first. So people are gonna be staring at us, just so you know. And the back of my vest is paranormal investigator, and I'm selling them like these are all like $20. Those telling stories. So I already warned them that everybody's staring at you guys because you're gonna be blindfolded, and I'm asking you those questions. So you're gonna hear everything. You're just not gonna know why it's relevant. But when you see something, it's a quick description. You see 7 people, 2 are on a bench with a tree in the background. Try to keep it as simple as possible. I may ask you something else specific about that. Like if you see a gentleman pop up, I may ask you if you have a beard or any kind of weird facial hair or anything like that. So just be prepared for that.
You want me to turn this all the way up?
I want you to put it at a comfortable level. Whatever's comfortable for you. Perfect. So, see how the gray smoke is on there? You're going to tell us anything that's not gray smoke. Just let me pop that in there. Get that adjusted while I get her blindfold on. Can you see your blindfold? And this is disposable. I don't want it back. Your eye boogers are yours. The vests are new. They are so handy.
You want me to hold your glasses for you, dear?
Alright, so this is like a Batman mask. So you're going to put it right over your ears. So take out that earbud. Put the mask on first, then the earbuds.
Put it over your ears.
It doesn't go all the way around your head.
Sorry.
It's okay. I know it's weird. It's not going to be perfect. You got any images coming up at all yet? Okay. Earbuds are next. And the earmuffs will kind of hold it in place, so don't worry about all that. Where's the earmuffs at?
Right here.
Alright, just kind of show you how they work. So, they're out like this. They come straight out. There's a little bit of
You want me
tension
to put
there.
them on her?
Yep. Once she gets
When
those
she's
earbuds
ready.
in. Yep.
I'm going to go behind you, Joe, so don't be
You can.
nervous. Just me to
Turn that volume up a little bit. Because I know you can hear me.
Please turn it.
Seeing the thumbs up.
All right, Joe, they're coming on, honey, okay? Okay, hold on. Okay?
10:55. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you guys to tell her that you'll tap her out by hitting her leg.
Okay, all right, okay.
So, if she's not talking, I will have you lift up that earmuff and tell her to remind her to talk to us.
Okay.
So, Henry Timrod, if you're here, we would like to know that you're here. Can you tell us your occupation, please? Henry Timrod, if you're here, tell us your occupation. Go ahead and lift up her earmuff. Just remind her she's supposed to talk to us.
Don't forget you're supposed to talk to us.
Okay. Jeez.
He told me to remind you, so
I
don't frisk at
I
me.
don't know how this works.
Okay. She hears something, she's supposed to say something, right?
She's getting a little nervous.
I know.
I guess you're wondering why. you tell us your occupation, please? Yeah, let's get those earmuffs off of her. Let me explain this a little bit better.
Hey, Joe, hold on a second. He's going to talk too soon. Hold on. Whatever you hear, you tell us, okay?
I'm not like all I'm hearing is the guitar
Okay.
and
So-
words that I can't, that I don't know what they're saying.
Okay. So just remember that. Just keep talking to us. You don't know what I'm asking. So just continue to repeat everything you hear. By the way, when we're done, somebody's going to tap you on the leg. That's not me. That means you take your headset off. Okay? All right. Perfect.
Is it going this way or the other way?
Yeah, you got it. You're in the right spot.
Right here?
Mhm.
I'm going to put him back on, Joe, okay? Here we go. If this is freaking you out, we can have someone else do it.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
All I'm hearing is like guitar and words that I don't like.
Like, just tell us that. I hear the guitar. I hear words I don't understand. But just talk to us, okay? Thank you.
What am I supposed to say?
What I
Wait.
just told you. I hear the guitar. I hear words. I'm not quite sure what you're saying. Okay? Just like that. Okay? Is it over your ears, okay?
No.
I'm
It's
sorry.
on her head.
Well, I'm trying to spread it out here. Hold on, Joe.
You may have to take them off to spread it.
Lock them
Sorry.
up. Go ahead and pull them up.
Sorry, Joe. Hold on.
Now pull them apart this way.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, they're pretty.
They're coming on again. They're awful tight. I'm sorry,
Nothing
sweetheart.
at all. Yeah, dude.
I'm just saying smoke.
Okay.
It's just smoke and smoke.
I notice I really haven't asked that many questions yet either. So that's almost a testament of the app and how it works.
There we go. Fine. There we go. That's better. All right. Okay, here you go. Okay?
She'll fix it.
Okay. There you go,
You
baby.
got it pretty close. Henry Timrod, you know how this works. We have one person blindfolded but can hear you. We have another person on with a visual device and machine. You can see whatever you want us to see. So Boaz, Jolie.
Trinity.
Perfect. There we go. Now,
Guitar.
if I'm not mistaken, that Henry Timrod is buried near Trinity Square.
Really?
If I'm not, Trinity has something to do with this. We don't know the exact reason. Henry, can you tell us your occupation, please?
US.
Show us. What'd she say?
U.S.?
Show us a visual, an image
Girl.
of something of the tools that you would need to use to do your job.
Preview.
Getting it out. Nothing but great smoke. Henry, I'd really like to see an image or two. Show us something that deals with your occupation.
56 Georgia.
He said 56 Georgia.
Henry, can you tell us what we're hearing from the church right now? What sound is coming out of the church? You can give me the image of what makes that sound.
UFOs. South Carolina education.
Done? Right here.
It's like black. That's all I can tell you.
What do you mean?
Henry,
Some measures.
can you tell us the sound we're hearing out of the church right now? We've got an image of something black, but we're not sure what it means. Can you make sense of it?
Happened last year.
It's like dark. Okay, now I'm seeing like a secret. Where is that?
I told you, they're random images.
It is like a nice thing.
Okay? Think
We are
Yeah, it's just changing colors now. It's turning red. It's fire.
so drunk.
It's like a face on fire. One side is a face on fire. One side is like a secret.
Henry, what's going on with this image? I don't understand it at all. So we're gonna go back to maybe you want to talk about your wife today.
Make your big purchase.
Can you tell me what your wife's name is, please? We need verification that you're here.
Give the real.
her? How did you meet your wife?
Round.
You can also
Favorite friend.
tell us how old she was when you met her. I know the answer to that. That would verify it.
Oh Lord.
Henry, I need you to push through. Is there somebody else
The
here?
door.
Is there somebody else here with us tonight, Henry? That's a yes or
That's
no
not
question.
so.
Not so. Okay. So are you here by yourself?
Love.
I did ask you about your wife, but I want to know if you're here by yourself. Are you the Holy Spirit here with us right now?
Stations.
It's a yes or no answer. Are there too many?
Who's with us?
Are there too many people here with us? Are there too many people in the park
So come.
around your bus? I'm giving you yes no questions.
Come on.
Liz?
You got something?
Everyone.
Came up Randy.
Randy. Henry, I'd really like some images based on your occupation. That would be great. BOAZ has the green device on tonight, so you can
Like
put those images right in there. You know what type of images we're looking for. Show,
Prisoners Week.
tell us what you did for your job. What was your living?
Someday.
She's getting better at it.
Yeah.
Henry. You want to go back to your wife and talk about her? You did give us the word love.
Visit join.
Where did you meet your wife? It's an easy one. One syllable answer, Henry. Allie, anything?
Who?
How old was your wife when you met her?
Eve.
You got any words coming up?
Oh yeah, tons of them. I got let me see the last
Anything
one.
dealing with school or education?
I got suit marker essay
Essay?
grade.
Christ.
Four.
Income.
Henry was her school teacher.
Really.
Yeah, she was only 16 years old.
And I got woman. When you were talking about him over here, I got a loan.
Henry, we're running out of time real fast here. We've got about 2.5 minutes.
Fans.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I've read your work. Tell me what you did for a living. I hate to be forceful, but you don't always give us the right answers. How far back was that? Henry,
Hours.
do you want us to leave? You've given us one image. That's all we want to have one image, right?
Also, I said.
There's a. It's a. It literally was like a compilation. It's like a blue room.
Wanna
There's
be.
like a table. And
What's on the table? Anything on the table?
it looks like a mirror. But there's nothing in the mirror, just like a white square.
Okay. There's a white square there, like a piece of paper.
Not necessarily, but it looks like it's like a white rectangle inside
Okay.
the mirror. The border around it is like it looks like a red ages. It's like silver stuff. This one. That was fucking weird.
Was it though? Welcome
Okay,
to
there's
my
another
world,
one,
buddy.
there's another one coming up. A whole bunch of stuff.
Just spitting them off, man. And notice how quiet she got.
Right.
I'm seeing it's like I can't even explain it. It's like a
Labor Day weekend.
pool. It looks like you're in the ocean. It's like
Too fast.
two figures, two dark figures. And there's like a
Tea.
white color coming off of it.
busy with God.
Wow.
Hundreds of thousands.
It's like stars.
Wow.
It's weird. Because you guys aren't synced up. But that window thing,
Consequently.
like what's going on there?
Like a paper office, consequently.
He's a writer.
Yeah, I know.
Do I feel?
So she's getting a little on the sagging side. So we've been under for about 13 minutes. So go ahead and tap her leg. Let's get her tapped out. BOAZ, you got anything growing up right now?
You can take them off
All
now.
good smoke.
Okay, perfect.
That was
Go ahead and get that thing off your
awesome.
head.
How do you feel?
Okay.
Well, it's bright.
Yeah.
I know. You're going to
Yeah,
be a
don't
little
get up.
disoriented. You'll be a little disoriented.
So,
So
kind of
during-
a weird thing, isn't it?
Yeah. That was really cool, Joe.
So, just so you guys both know,
That was amazing.
both of these things are supposed to go to one person. Like, that's how this is set up.
Okay.
So, if you could imagine listening to that white noise and radio static coming through, on top of getting the visuals, like, that's where things can really get hairy. But
Okay.
for people that have never done this before, that's why we kind of, that is weird.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's going on here. It looks like two different rooms, right?
Wow, that's cool. Is that what you saw in the VR?
Yeah.
Oh my, I saw nothing. That's amazing.
Yeah, her image, like that was the only night where nothing happened.
Yeah, I saw nothing.
So this almost looks like a medical room. Like we've
Oh
got
my
some doctors
Lord.
on this side.
Right.
And
I
some
did
kind
hear.
of.
Oh my
That's what I
God.
thought. Like it's like a face on fire.
Wow, that's crazy.
I did hear a word that I didn't want to say. It was the N word. So
Really?
yeah.
Wow.
So here's our blue room.
Wow.
It's the window.
So this is a mirror with
Wow, that's cool.
looks like a reflection off the window of sunlight
Wow.
coming back. Maybe I'm looking at it upside down.
Doing okay?
Yeah.
Right?
So something's going on with the window.
That was really cool.
When I put this
So
on,
she
most
said
of
it
the
and you saw
time,
it.
most of
So-
the time, I was trying to focus on the words, but I was also like, I was like trying to keep my feet on the ground because I felt like I was spinning. I went that way, and then I went that way.
Oh, really?
Person we were talking about, I was asking about his wife, and he met his wife because he was her school teacher in the 1800s. And
I
she
remember I said South Carolina education.
You did, but that was before I started asking about the wife. That was kind of like what inspired me to start asking about the wife. But essay and grade showing up while we're here and South Carolina
And then
education.
he said paper office near the very end.
Interesting.
And consequently,
So I wonder if
paper and
what we
office.
were looking at was